What's going on, everyone? I've been wanting to make this video for a long time now. It covers a topic that's kind of controversial with the keyboard lighting world, which is ripple effects. I know a lot of people don't like using ripple effects because they can be quite a lot. They're a little bit distracting and stuff, but there's actually a lot of different ways you can use the ripple effect layer to make your keyboard lighting designs look really nice. So for this video, I'm going to go over all of the different ripple effect layers that I know how to make, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I make them. So for this video, I'm going to cover 5 advanced methods to make your ripple effect layers look a lot better. I'm also going to cover how to apply a basic ripple effect, just in case you guys are not aware of how to do that. So I'm going to cover a basic ripple effect layer, which is going to show you guys how to apply a ripple effect to your keyboard properly. After that, I'm going to show you guys what I call a area ripple, which is a ripple effect that just stays close to the key that you're currently pressing on the keyboard. Next, we're going to do what I call a highlight ripple, which is a ripple effect that goes over your existing keyboard lighting, but it just makes it brighter. So you see the ripple effect, but it maintains the color that's beneath it. After that, we'll cover a line ripple effect, which I have done in a different video, but I'm just going to make sure I cover all of our bases. After that, we're going to be doing a scatter ripple effect, which is a ripple effect that just looks like it's scattering across the keyboard rather than going in a straight line. And then last but not least, we're going to cover ripple color based on the key that you're pressing. There is ways that you can make it to where a specific color will ripple from a specific key that you want. So let's get right into it. Okay, first of all, to add a ripple effect to your keyboard lighting, you're just going to go down here in the bottom left and click on this ripple, and that is going to add a brand new ripple effect layer to our effect layers list. When applying any type of ripple effect that you're going to be making, more likely than not, you're gonna want this ripple effect to be on the top of your list. What this is going to do is it's going to give your ripple effect layer priority over all the other effect layers, and it'll allow you to see it, and it won't be hidden by other effect layers. So if I was to just select all of our lighting zones here for our keyboard, and I click on our color drop down and I apply a white colored ripple to our keyboard lighting design here, and I hit save, you can now see whenever I type on the keyboard, it's going to give you a white ripple effect across the keyboard, right? Now, if this ripple effect layer was at the bottom of our list, hidden below all these other effect layers, and we hit save there, now when I go to type, you're not going to see that ripple effect come up at all. Now, for a basic ripple effect, you can tweak these settings around here a little bit to make it look like what you want it to look like. If you don't want your mouse or other devices setting off the ripple effect on your keyboard, you're going to want to select the lighting zones just for your keyboard, and under the playback option, choose the start from on press to on selected keys. What that does is it only starts the ripple effect for these keys that is selected. So I can click my mouse all I want. It's not going to set off any ripple effect from my keyboard. And if I touch my keyboard, it sets off a white ripple effect. All right, moving on to the area effect ripple. To do the area effect ripple, it's really similar to the basic one. We're just going to add a ripple effect, and we're going to select our keyboard just like we normally would. We're going to click on our color drop down, and this color gradient right here is what makes the difference between an area ripple and a regular ripple effect. Okay. So what we're going to choose is we're going to choose this 2 color pattern here, this red and orange pattern. We're going to click on that, and that gives us 2 nodes on this gradient bar right here. So you got a left node over here and you got a right node. I'm just going to change this node to green just to make it a little bit more visible here. And so what this color gradient bar represents is the left side, this left node or the left side of our gradient bar is going to be the color from which your ripple starts. So whatever key you're pressing. Let me hit save here. If I press the G key, you can see here that it starts out red and it stays red on the whole keyboard. Okay, even though we have a multicolor gradient bar, If I were to move this green closer to our red node and hit save, so now you can see whenever I press the G key now, you can see it's starting to fade to green on your keyboard. So really, this whole gradient bar, it's kind of a waste of space unless you have other devices. So to create a red area ripple, what we do is we just take this left node and we make it red, or whatever color you want the ripple to be. This right node is going to be a transparent node, because then your red color is going to hit and it's going to trail off and disappear. So we're just going to take this right node, transparent node, and we're going to just tuck it in really close to this red node, just like that. And now we're going to hit save. So now whenever you press a key, you're going to see that red color, and it's going to come in and it's going to dissipate just a short distance away from whatever key you're pressing. Okay, to create a highlight ripple, what you want is a pretty static pattern underneath. So right here, I quickly just made a really fast little American flag static profile. So red, white, and blue. And what you're gonna do with this static layer is you're going to save the colors that are underneath. Ideally, you want these colors to be a little bit darker on your brightness meter. So if I were to just double click and select these blue keys right here on my static layer, you can see I have a blue color, and on this brightness scale, I have it about at the middle here. So it's not all the way maxed out for my brightness, which is ideal for creating a highlight ripple because you want your highlight to be brighter than what's underneath it. So once you have your color that you have selected, we're just going to click this add, and it's going to add that blue color to this. And we're going to do this for all of the colors that we have on our pattern. We're going to select the red, and we're going to add that, select the white, and we're going to add that. And all of these are right in the middle of our brightness scale here. If you run out of room here for your color palette, you can right click and delete some of these current ones that you have on your list if you don't need them anymore. So with our colors saved here on our color palette, we're going to add a ripple effect. And from here, it's just really easy. So for blue, I'm just going to highlight all of my lighting zones that are blue. I'm going to click on my color gradient. I'm going to choose a single color node pattern here, and I'm going to pick that blue color that we chose. And I'm just going to raise this brightness up over here on the brightness meter. So it's not going to be the same color that's underneath. It's going to be a little bit brighter. And we're going to do that for all of the colors here. So I'm going to select all of our red lighting zones. With those selected, I'm going to click the color gradient, click on my single color pattern, and I'm going to choose that red color we chose, and I'm just going to make it brighter. And then last but not least, we're going to choose the white. So with this white selected, same thing, color pattern, choosing the single node pattern, choose our white color, and then we're just going to drag it brighter. So now we have our static pattern underneath, and whenever we type on our keyboard, it's just going to brighten up that pattern that you currently have already on your keyboard. To create a line ripple, what you have to do is you have to make each horizontal line independent from one another. And they also have to be using the on selected keys playback option. So for example, I'm going to select all of my keys on my keyboard here. I'm going to change the playback to on selected keys. I'm going to change my color to a white color. Okay. So I'm going to hit save. And right now we have just a basic white ripple effect on our keyboard. To make them horizontal and travel just in lines across the keyboard, you have to make each horizontal line different. So we're going to select all of our keys. We're going to hold Control, and we're going to deselect this top line. So we no longer have that top line selected. Now we're going to make every row below that one different from it. And we can do this very easy by altering the color gradient here. You can change hex colors. You can change the color node locations, which is what we're going to do. So we're just going to take this color node that's right here. We're going to grab it and move it a little bit to the right. That's all we're going to do. We're going to hold control and we're going to deselect the next row down. We're going to select our color gradient and we're going to grab that color node and move it a little bit further to the right. Hold control, deselect the next row, move the color node. Hold control, deselect the next row, move the color node. Hold control, deselect this one, and with our last row here selected, we're going to move the color node one more time and we're going to hit save. So once we hit save, you can now see if I press any button on any particular row, it's going to create a horizontal line ripple that travels just on that specific row. So that is how you create a horizontal line ripple using just one color. It's even easier if you want to do separate colors. So if you want to do separate colors, let's just say we'll keep the top row white, the next row down, or all the rows down below that, we're going to change that to red. All the rows below that, or the next row down, we're going to make blue. Next row down, we'll make green. Next row down, we'll make pink. And the bottom row we'll make orange. We'll hit save. Now it's very easy to do it with multiple colors like that. So now you can see each row has its own separate individual color. Okay, now the scatter ripple effect. To use the scatter ripple effect, you have to use on press for your start, which means that your mouse will set off this ripple effect as well. There is ways you can tweak this to where it won't do that, and I'll show you guys that at the end of this part. But to do the scatter ripple effect, you alter the speed of your ripple effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply our ripple effect on here. I'm just going to click this. I'm going to choose a basic white ripple effect. And I'm going to leave all my settings here at default and I'm going to hit save. So holding control, we're just going to deselect some of our lighting zones and kind of create this diagonal checkerboard effect on our keyboard. So here you can see I've kind of selected or deselected every other key in kind of a diagonal checkerboard pattern on the keyboard. So with these keys right here selected, we're going to reduce this speed in half. So we're going to take it from a speed of 10 to a speed of 5. And we're going to hit save. Now when you press your keyboard, you can see you kind of have this scattering ripple effect on your keyboard. Now, as I said earlier, your mouse does set off this ripple effect and it makes it look a little bit strange. And to fix that, what we do is we just double select any of these affected keys right here, and it's going to select half of them. And we're going to click on our color gradient and we're going to add a node here. And this new node we're going to make transparent. And we're going to pull that kind of tight to the left side. And you may have to tweak this a little bit depending on where your devices are set up in the studio window. So now that we've applied that to this, we're going to double click on the other set of keys and do the same thing. Add transparent node. And we're just going to drag that down a little bit and we're going to hit save. So now we're just going to test that by clicking our mouse. And we can see now our mouse doesn't set off the ripple on our keyboard. If it was still setting it off, we would just click on our effect and just drag that even closer to that white node. But we're good here. Okay, for our last type of ripple effect, it's going to be the ripple color based on key pressed. So it will ripple this effect color based on whatever key you're pressing on the keyboard. So this by far is going to be the most complex effect that you can do with ripples, and it takes a little bit of trickery or a little bit of smoke and mirrors. And what it requires is that the key that you want to be a specific color is already that color. So what I'm going to do with this effect is I'm going to make it, I've highlighted the letters hero, And I'm going to make it to where if I press on the H key, I have a red ripple effect. E key is a green, R key is blue, and the O key is going to be a yellow ripple effect. So I've just gone down to my static layer here and I've just colored these just for the sake of this video. So we're going to go up to our ripple effect layer here that we've added. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of our keys on our keyboard and I'm going to hold Control and I'm going to deselect the colors that we are not using for this red H. So I'm going to deselect E, R, and O. So every key on our keyboard is selected, including the key that we want to set off that red color. Okay, and deselect all the other ones. Then from here, we're going to click on our color gradient and we're going to click on the single node pattern here. And we're going to choose the color that we want that to set off. So here I have a red ripple effect. I'm going to click off of that and I'm going to change my start to on selected keys. So this is essential as well. Make sure you have on selected keys selected. Another thing that's important, we're going to have several ripple effect layers, and every single one of these ripple effect layers has to have the same properties. So whatever you have here, you're going to use that for all of your ripple effect layers. So I'm going to click save here, and then I'm just going to right click on our ripple layer here that we made, and I'm going to hit duplicate layer. This first layer we did here, we can double click on that and we can just call it red if we want. Change the name to red. This new one, we're going to be doing green. So I'll double click on that, make it green. And with this new green layer, we're just going to double click any of the highlighted green keys, which is going to select all of them. And we're going to hold Control and press C, which is going to copy that effect. And then we're going to hold Control and we're going to include the E key. So click on the E key and we're going to Control and press V to paste on the effect onto that key. Okay, so now our green key has that red effect on it. We're going to select our H key and hit delete. So we're deleting the H key off of there. Double click on our effect and you can see it is still currently red. We're going to click on that color gradient and we're going to change that to green. Okay. And we're going to hit save. So all of the keys on our keyboard are selected, including the key that we want to set off green. We're going to right click our green effect layer, duplicate it. We're going to call this new one blue. I'm just going to click on the E key right now, delete that out, double click on our effect. We're going to hold Control and press C. We're going to hold Control and press V on the R key. Just going to paste that on there. Double click the effect, which is going to select all of your lighting zones, excluding the other colors. And we're going to change our color to blue and hit save. So everything on our keyboard, including the R key, it now has a blue ripple effect on it. We're going to right click our blue layer, duplicate that. We're going to name this new layer to yellow. We're going to select our R key that has the blue on it and we're going to delete that. And we're going to highlight our keys here, copy it, paste it on the yellow one, double click to select all of them, including our yellow key, and we're going to change our color gradient to yellow and hit save. So now currently our specific buttons work. If you were to press the H key, it would set off a red ripple. If you press the E key, it sets off a green ripple. If you press the R key, it sets off a blue one and a yellow one. Okay, but there's nothing masking the colors because this yellow one is our top one. If we were to press any other key, it would always be yellow. So we're going to mask that. What we're going to do is we're going to right click on this yellow layer and we're going to duplicate that layer. We're going to rename this new ripple layer to white, and I'm going to make our keyboard ripple white anytime we're not pressing any of these four keys. Okay, we want this white layer to be on the top. It has to be on the top. That way it masks everything below it. So we're going to click on our yellow O key and we're going to delete the effect on there. It's very important for this mask layer that the colored keys that you have are not selected for this. So if we double click, all of the keys on our keyboard are lit except for our specific color keys. And for this, I'm going to change the color gradient to white. Click off of that, and we're going to hit save. And that's all it takes to make this effect. So if I press any other random key on the keyboard, it's going to be a white ripple effect. If I press the H key, it's red. If I press the E key, it's green, blue, and yellow. And then everything else is white. So that's it. That's all the ripple effects that I know how to make. I really hope it helped you guys learn how to possibly implement the ripple effect into your guys' keyboard lighting designs, because it can be a really nice effect to add if you know what you're doing. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.